in yoga. Swamiji tells the story of how Yogi Yogananda Puri made him do Surya Namaskar from sunlight to sunset. That is how intense his training was. He would ask him to climb the pillars in Tiruvannamalai temple up and down all through the day. So he was trained by a yogi, and he was trained in the sciences of power manifestation also. At the age of 10, he actually had his first third eye awakening enlightenment experience. And this is where, growing up in Tiruvannamalai, where he also met the embodiment of Shiva himself. So the embodiment of Shiva was his guru, and he groomed him for many years into an enlightened being.
So even enlightened.
Yeah, sorry. At that time is when, at age 16, he was coronated by Mata Vibhudananda Puri, Kuppammal, into inheriting the entire enlightenment ecosystem of Tiruvannamalai and carry on his mission. Samadhi, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just trying to say, even as an avatar himself had to go through penance and tapas of molding into become who he is now. It's a living example for all of us who adore him as Swamiji now. Now, going into the early years of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, how he tirelessly worked, moving one stone at a time, one being at a time, to establish what he have now. 108 various initiatives were uniting nations for Sri Kailasa projects. The early foundation was started in southern part of India. The first and foremost Ashram was inaugurated in Tiruchengodu in 2001. As you can see from the pictures from left to right, there are how the progression of Supreme Pontiff works. It showcase from how many number of lives Supreme Pontiff was able to touch and aid and give a breakthrough. In the middle picture that you could see where the foundation was laid for Adi Kailasa, which is one of the Sarvanya Pida now in Bangalore, Bidadi.
I want to add, Ma, all
Sure.
those bricks that you see there Swamiji laying for the foundation,
Yes.
he built those bricks himself from scratch.
Wow.
Even the foundation was built on his sweat and blood.
Certainly. That's why these pictures clearly showcase that Swamiji himself, how tirelessly, hard work that he have worked to build the foundation for what we all cherish as Sri Kailasa now. And also from this picture itself, it is so evident how rapidly Swamiji have transformed and were able to reach to larger audience throughout India, where you could see on the top right-hand corner where he's conducting a mass living enlightenment initiation conventions where thousands of lives were touched to give the conscious breakthrough. And starting from here, I think next slide, Sri Mukherjee will highlight how Swamiji not only been conducting programs in India and staging into global audience.
Yeah, great. So in fact, in this slide, you can see a picture where he is welcomed by the mayor of St. Louis, USA. This was way back in 2005. I mean, very quickly, Swamiji's message spread all over the world, and wherever he went, there were 10,000s of people there to listen to him, learn from him, and be enlightened by him. And here are a few examples. The leftmost picture is that single place where more than 10,000 people gathered to listen to Swamiji. And you can see lectures he gave in Oklahoma and many other places across the world. By the time he turned 30, he had established temples all over the world, over 100 enlightenment ecosystems with temple in Malaysia, Singapore, in the United States. There were temples in Ohio, St. Louis, Los Angeles. There was even a full-fledged ashram in Los Angeles. So his mission had spread all over the world to the size, to almost to where we are right now. To speak about Kumbh.
Yes. So besides touching lives through various programs and live initiations, Swamiji himself has conducted many Kumbh Mela. Kumbh Mela large Hindu gatherings. It was conducted in 2015 in Nasik, and another major one was conducted in 2016 in Jaini. In both of these Kumbh Mela, Hinduism was able to gather seekers globally around the world to these places and initiated them into the conscious breakthrough. Not only the seekers that he was able to gather, the other saints and temple heads and the people who were leading the months were coming to Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to learn the science and celebrate authentic Hinduism.
Thank you, Ma. Just wanted to add that Kumbh Mela is the largest gathering of humanity in the world by far. Last Kumbh Mela, there were 130 million people who gathered in one place. And all of these are spiritual seekers. And and many of them came there just to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
That is right.
Yeah. And of course, Swamiji, because of his tireless work for Hinduism and preserving Hinduism, he has been recognized by various monasteries and kingdoms. In ancient times, Hindu kingdoms and monasteries were one and the same. The king of the kingdom, who's the ruler, is also a head of a monastery. And so the spiritual and the political authority lay with the same people. Of course, as you know, Swamiji was ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kanchi Sarvagna Pita, the Tondai Mandala Adhinam. He is also the incumbent emperor of Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam. He is the current 23rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dharma Mukti Swargapura Adhinam. He is also the 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of Kailasonnata Shamala Pita Sarvagna Pitam, which is also called Madurai Adhinam. This is an Adhinam that was established by Paramashiva himself thousands of years ago. And so almost every leader of this Adhinam has been incarnation of Paramashiva all through the ages. And in one of the Kumbh Melas, Swamiji was coronated as a Mahamandaleshwar, as a supreme spiritual head, the Mahanirvani Akada. And he was also appointed as the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar, which is the highest position you can reach in this spiritual Hindu leadership of Atal Akada, which is an apex body of Hinduism. The Mahanirvani Akada actually is the largest collection of saints, is the largest single spiritual body in Hinduism. And of course, in 2015, he was elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders in Bidadi, and they declared him as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Matushi, you want to talk about the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa?
Yes, certainly. So that's the next phase of evolution of how Swamiji was establishing himself from various initiatives to the civilizational nation itself. Kailasa is a macrocosmic ancient Hindu enlightened civilizational nation. Its vision is to give living enlightenment for all humanity. So the mission of Sri Kailasa is giving the practical applicational science of authentic Hinduism, whether it's in cosmology or biology or mathematics, especially for the power manifestation. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism have revived all these sciences which have been practiced in 56 nations across the continent in the millennium. And Sri Kailasa doesn't give priority for the territory alone. It's all about building ecosystem where people as a community practice and live the science of authentic Hinduism. As of now, 2 billion Hindus worldwide in hundreds of countries have thousands such enlightenment ecosystem is being flourishing, where people is living, experiencing, and spreading the joy with others in their community. So Sri Muktaya, do you want to add anything more on?
I thank you so much, Ma. That is beautifully said. I want to add the science, this science of enlightenment was actually practiced in over 56 nations from one end of this continent to the other, right? If you look at all across from Afghanistan all the way to Indonesia, there were 56 nations which were practicing the science. But today, if you see, there are no countries where this science is practiced. Why is that? Because Hinduism has faced millenniums of persecution. Over a couple of thousand years, it's been persecuted. And more so recently, the intense persecution of Hindus and the focused destruction of Hindu science of enlightenment has really brought it to a brink. And hardly this is practiced anymore. We hardly see any enlightened masters who are revered in the society, and hardly any gurukuls. And Swamiji is reviving this entire science in spite of he himself facing such intense persecution over the last 20 years. Why is he facing intense persecution? It's actually very simple. Swamiji supports Hinduism in its authentic form. That is worship of gurus, gurus passing on the science of enlightenment to Sishyas, to disciples. And he truly believes in equality of everybody, including equality of all genders. So when he believes in equality of all genders, established universities only for women. And because of his progressive stance, women are practicing priests in his temples. You will never see that in almost any other US temple or anywhere else in the world for that matter. He initiates women into sainthood. And because of this progressive stance, he's been persecuted. In addition, he's been persecuted by people who want to take over the monasteries where he is the current leader. So people who are familiar with religious persecution understand how this happens. And in spite of this intense persecution over so many years, he has non-stop enriched the entire world. And that is culminated in this great big story of the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations, which is essentially serving all of humanity. Okay, let's talk about that. Great. So let's quickly go into Sri Kailasa. There are so many different things to talk about here, so we're going to go through it quickly. If you think about it, all the work that Swamiji has done ever since he was 16 years old, or even from the time he was 3 years old, is all contributing towards the welfare of the world. And this welfare of the world, this humanitarian services, like Swamiji says, it's global welfare through individual enlightenment. What does it mean? In an enlightenment ecosystem, people are enlightened, peaceful. The environment itself is sustainable. It is equitable, meaning it provides equal opportunity to everybody. It is resilient, self-sufficient. If you want to do all that, you not only have to think about enlightenment sciences, but also talk about how people can live their daily life peacefully, which means worrying about healthy food, worrying about health itself, worrying about education. When I say worry, to build infrastructure that can help education, stop violence in the society, provide peace in the society, help women, especially empower them, and especially in the birthing process, how to bring enlightened beings into this world. So there are 108 such initiatives, and all these initiatives are fully aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations and beyond. and it expanded to many other initiatives that are not covered by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And let us understand, all these are fully rooted in the ancient science of Hinduism. Today, if we talk about climate change and how to stop it, if you want to talk about preserving the environment or not harming animals and preserving our ecosystem, all that is not something new or modern as far as Hinduism is concerned. They are a core part of what Hinduism is. And in this process of reviving Hinduism, Swamiji has revived all these 108 Sri Kailasa initiatives for uniting nations. Another important idea here is it is not about serving, doing some specific service when you are under a control of a single nation. It is uniting multiple nations, bringing them into a supranational effort where humanity's welfare is primary among everywhere else. And this is really what Swamiji is doing. So let's look into each Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations and look into what they do. Very quickly, we'll move through each of them.
Yes, I am. One point that I would add regarding the 108 initiatives is this is bringing nations together and going beyond any differences, whether it be ethnicity, whether it's their economical background, or what's their walk of life is. Uniting human beings into these initiatives and giving the space for them to overcome any barriers that they see and have the conscious breakthrough. So as we said, we are just going to highlight few of such initiatives. One such initiative is Nourishes Food and Hunger-Free World. Certainly from the early start of monasteries to temples now, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is quite passionate about serving people with the right organic food. So within last 27 years, more than 1 billion meals have been served in various parts of monasteries. Not only that, 10,000 meals were served daily free of cost. And during festivals, certainly it's much more than that. The picture speaks for itself. So it's not only in India, various parts of the world, even now this continues. Serving food for the people who are in need, as well as teaching people to intake the right food, particularly organic sattvic food. Let's move to the next slide, please.
Yeah. Swamiji's contribution to health, I mean, we can't say enough about this, but I'm going to focus only on COVID care. The Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Affordable and Holistic Healthcare, one of the greatest benefits that it's provided. In fact, if you see the testimonials and proclamations given by local cities here, Diamond Bar, Montclair, and other places, they have called out Swamiji's work, especially during COVID times, how he's helped the community during COVID times. For example, 10 years ago, Swamiji established a 21-foot linga in Adi Kailasha, which is Bedadi, and he revealed during COVID times that that it is built with Navapashana, one of the most sacred and most powerful medicinal herbs mixed together, which is a lost science now. Swamiji is the last person who knows that knowledge. And so he built that 21-foot Shivalinga, and he revealed that any water that flows on that Shivalinga, if anybody takes bath in it or drinks it, they will actually be immune from COVID. So he invited as many people as possible to come and treat the Adi Kailasha monastery and monasteries around the world as sanctuaries. For them to come and get free food, free internet, they could work from there, with their family, free education, and stay there safely, quarantined from the rest of the world throughout the pandemic. And so many hundreds of families have taken advantage of this. And including that, he shared from the ancient science, Hinduism science, many techniques called Pachapatni Vridam, many chants, meditation, many techniques which helped the entire global community surviving in COVID, not just physically, even mentally. how to stay connected, how to stay aware, how to meditate, and how to stay mentally healthy. These were techniques that were shared by His Divine Holiness.
And another such initiative is education reform and development. Under this umbrella, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism have established the largest Hindu university, Nityananda Hindu University, where it has 270,000 enrollment and 2,700 plus courses freely extended in 150 countries through extended campuses. Not only the largest Hindu university, the second part is the Gurukul education system. This has been revived by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where kids go and live in the ashram and learn from Guru himself. This style of educational system has been demolished by the various invasions through centuries, and now Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism have been reviving the science. The model Gurukul system that was established in the Adi Kailasa itself, it speaks for its results. The kids who have gone through this education system, they have at least 50% of the children have at least 1 to 3 years ahead of the ages when they sat for the board exams. Not only that, their IQs have been average above 130, which is stated as a gifted kids. All these have been accomplished by reviving the ancient science of educational method, where the kids have been groomed to go to their higher potential without stress, without comparison, without inner violence. So this is one of the greatest contribution to humanity under this initiative.
Great. So I just wanted to say one thing about, before I go to the next slide, I'm so sorry. Gurukuls are the foundations of Hindu civilization. That is how the science of enlightenment was transmitted from the guru to the disciple, and it became an incubator for enlightened masters. And by destroying the Gurukul system, the science of enlightenment also has been destroyed, and its propagation has been destroyed. And so one of the greatest contributions of Swamiji is reviving this Gurukul system. So we are quickly running out of time, so we're going to move through the next slides fairly quickly. So the next one is, like I said, protection of Hinduism and Hindu scriptures. Swamiji has established what is called a Jnanalaya, which is a house of knowledge. He's collected the Hindu scriptures, ancient palm leaves which were lying somewhere, close to being destroyed. He has collected all of them. About 15 terabytes of digital books and rare manuscripts have been connected from all 19 Sarvagnya Peetams. And there's also a digitization system in the ashram which converts all these ancient, very fragile manuscripts into digital archives. And all of them are now available at kailasa.nityananda.org, free for humanity. Anybody can look at them, anybody can do research on them, and it's freely available. Swamiji himself has authored over 10,000 books, and it's translated into over 50 languages. He's published over 10,000 articles, and on YouTube alone, there are over 10,000 hours of free discourses with over 1 billion views. All of them talk about the essence of Hinduism. And Hinduismpedia is, like I said, one of the biggest contributions of Swamiji. It is his work in organizing all of Hindu scriptures into one place. Close to 1 million pages, over 22,000 digital books, over 100,000 articles have been collected. There, please go to kailasa.nityananda.org to find that. Okay, next.
Another initiative is Global Peace and Religious Harmony. So in 2012, a project was launched, Minute for Peace, and till to this date, there's 4.3 billions of minutes in meditation, which has been conducted in various parts of the globe through online programs, in-person programs, to have the global peace. And also there have been large scale of collective meditation, which have been conducted for the global peace as well. Let's move to the next slide, please.
Awesome. And Swamiji's contributed to global peace not just through meditation, but through events that bring people together. Like Kumbh Mela in 2007. You can see that Kumbh Mela in India is organized by the Akhil Bharatiya Akhada Parishad, which is the organizing entity for all the Akhadas. But they gave permission to Swamiji and him alone. They entrusted it with him to organize Kumbh Mela outside India. So it is official Kumbh Mela conducted outside for the first time in its history was when Swamiji did it in 2007 here, right here in Los Angeles. And included in that was what is called the Confluence for Peace. He organized a conference bringing together various religious leaders from various different religions as well as parts of Hinduism. And that really brought together interfaith conversation, which had never happened before in that particular way. Let's move on to the next one.
One more initiative is through the Religious Harmony Wing is Peace Walks. There has been peace walks happen various parts of the world as well. One of the highlight was in 2009, where thousands of villages came together in India, covering 1,000 kilometers in a peace walk. Pictures shows the magnitude of the people from various walks of life coming together, feeling the connection and oneness among themselves and walking for the global cause of peace.
Fantastic. And I've briefly mentioned this before, but one of the biggest contributions by His Divine Holiness, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is in feminine empowerment and gender equality. I mean, this is in the DNA of our organization, from the root ground up. So many initiatives, I am going to go through them very quickly. The Kailasa's Yogini Sarvagnya Pita, it was actually established as a yoga and meditation university for women only, to empower all women all over the world and inspire them with life solutions from the Vedas and Agamas. And this is a university that was established for women, by women, run by women, and it is a huge tool against fighting gender stereotyping or gender-based violence, lack of inclusiveness in variety of different social enterprises. Swamiji had launched a program called Nityananda Lakshmi, which is one of the earliest microfinancing services in India. Even before microfinancing became a big deal around the world, he launched this program to give small loans to women all over southern India and to help them be self-sufficient and establish their lives themselves. He also launched the Kailasa's Women Foundation and Women Empowerment Self-Help Centers, and there are 108 of these around the world, launched since 2009. They work solely towards giving economic independence to women and providing collective finance, enterprise, and livelihood to them, and helping them with microloans and helping them be both self-sufficient as well as self-confidence and living an independent life. The Kailasa's Ankita program was providing foundational literacy and to a variety of women worldwide. And the Ashraya program also provides vocational training programs in rural areas to women who live there. Thus, empowering women and ensuring gender equality of women in religion has been a core of Kailasa and Swamiji's efforts around the world.
and every monastery or temple around the world speaks for itself, seeing the women in non-traditional places in these monasteries. The next initiative is yoga. For yoga, Sri Kailasa itself holding 2 Guinness World Records, which were established in September and October of 2017. For the yoga initiative, 108 scientifically validated kriyas have been launched, introduced for people to get cure and also maintenance for major 108 disorders like diabetes, arthritis, and blood pressures, and etc. Not only people were given the science by reviving and packaging it and presenting to people to practice, teachers have been initiated, trained with Shastra Pramana, so that they understand the base where this yoga is coming from and what is the essence of it and how to take it to the others in the world. Not only teachers were trained, yoga books were published. These have ancient 1008 Hindu scriptural pieces of evidence on yoga. Since we all are excited to receive Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to address to the larger audience, we probably will skim through the next few slides just to
so much to talk about, yeah. We can talk for a really long time about Swamiji's contribution. So, yeah, again, we want to say that in spite of heavy persecution, what Swamiji has done is over the 25, 30 years is just amazing. In his commitment to helping humanity, in spite of being persecuted nonstop, he has helped humanity without interruption. Even when his life was in danger, he has always helped humanity. And to honor his selfless work, he has received proclamations from over 30 cities today, just today. I'm not counting the proclamations he's received, the hundreds he's received over the previous years. I think last year he received only 108 last year, right? So only today there are 30 cities in over 3 countries who have declared January 3rd, 2022, that is January 3rd in India and January 2nd here in the United States, to celebrate the birthday of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. They have declared it as Kailasa's Nityananda Day. So it is not just us, the whole world is joining us in celebrating. And here you can see pictures of mayors, congresswomen from the United States, congressmen, governors, leaders from Canada, who are declaring together. They have proclaimed January 3rd as Kailasa's Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nityananda Day. And so that's the day that we are all getting together to celebrate today.
Certainly, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude for all the leaders among different parts of the world recognizing this day. Certainly, this is the beginning. People who are just jumping into the wagon through the early stages of building Sri Kailasa itself. It's an excitement journey. So thank you for each and every one of you who have contributed to us.
And Matushi, it's been such a pleasure presenting this with you. We've been telling it's so emotional to tell the story of Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, to reminisce how he came from Tiruvannamalai all the way to serving all of humanity. And so on this special occasion, I'm so glad we have people from around the world, not only all the Kailasa-vasis, practicing Hindus, and dignitaries, leaders from around the world who are waiting to hear Swamiji speak. So let us end this session and humbly request Swamiji to address all of us on this special occasion.
Thank you. Nityananda.
Nityananda.
சுந்தர பாண்டியன் அம்பலம் தனிலாடும் ஆனந்த நடராஜன் அருணைமலை மீதிலே ஆனந்த ஜோதியாய் ஆரணி உருதாகி வந்த நித்யானந்தனே அருணைமலை மீதிலே ஆனந்த ஜோதியாய் ஆரணி உருதாகி வந்த நித்யானந்தனே ஆனந்தனே நித்யானந்தனே ஆனந்தனே நித்யானந்தனே நித்யானந்தனே நித்யானந்தனே
திருவே குருவா இருவ
Now, slowly, please open your eyes. We'll now be entering into the Panchopachara Puja. Now, please take some sandalwood paste in your hands and offer it to Swamiji along with the mantra. Gandhaha Om Gandhadvarandura Dharshan Nitya Pushtankarishiniim Ishwari Gum Sarva Bhutanam Tamihopahvaye Shriyam Gandharayami. Now, please take some flowers, smear it sandalwood paste in your hands and offer the flowers to Swamiji along with the mantra. Pushpam Yopam Pushpam Veda Pushpavan Prajavan Pashuman Bhavati Chandramava Pam Pushpam Pushpavan Prajavan Pashuman Bhavati Yaevam Veda Yopamayattanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Pushpai Pujayami. Now, please take the lit incense sticks, the dhupa in your hands, and slowly wave it towards Swamiji along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so. Dhupaha Om Dhurasi dhurvadhurvantam dhurvatayyo osman dhurvatitam dhurvayam vayam dhurvamastam devanamasi sasmitamam papritamam jushtatamam vanhitamam devahutamam rthamasir averdhanam simhasvamatva mitrasya tva chakshusha prekshe mabherma samvikta matva higumsisham Dhupamagrapayami. Now, please take the lit lamp in your hands and slowly wave it towards Swamiji along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so. Deepaha Om Uddipya Sajata Vedopagninniritim Mama Pasugascha Mahyamavaha Jivanam Chadisho Disha Mano higumsi jata dogamashvam purusham jagat abhibradagahi shriyama paripataya deepam darshayami. Now, please take a uddarani of water and hover it clockwise over the Naivedyam and offer the water to Swamiji along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so. Naivedyam Om Madhuvatayate Madhuksharanti Sindhavaha Madhvina Santoshadhihi Madhunaktamutoshasi Madhumatparthivagum Rajaha Madhudyorastu Nah Pita Madhumanno Vanaspatir Madhumagumastu Suryaha Madhvirgavo bhavantu naha madhu 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 Naivedyam nivedayami. Now, please take the arati, the lit camphor in your hands, and slowly wave it towards Swamiji along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so. Aratikam Om Rajadhirajaya Prasaya Sahine Namo Vayam Vaishravanaya Kurmahe Same Kamang Kamakamaya Mahyam Kameshwaro Vaishravano Dadatu Kuberaya Vaishravanaya Maharajaya Namaha Karpura Gauram Karunavataram Samsarasaram Bhujagendraharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarvinde Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Sahitam Namami Karpura Niranjanam Darshayami. In the same space of gratitude, please sit with your head, neck, spine in a straight line and get ready to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Highness Bhagavan Shri Nityananda Paramaship.
அருணாச்சல புத்திர ஆனந்தத்தின் மந்திரன் லோகநாயகியின் மைந்தன் உலகையே ஆள வந்த நித்யானந்தன் காவியமா ஆக்கிட்டாரு அப்படியா 7 கடல் தாண்டி ராசாவா வந்துட்டாரு எல்லோருக்கும் ஊருதான் கண்டு வைக்கும் இவருக்கு தான் உலகமே கண்டு வைக்கும் சுத்தி போடுங்கடி எல்லாம் பலமாக வாழணும் இருக்கிற நாள் எல்லாம் நமக்காக மாத்தணும் அதுக்கு இப்போது நாம் என்ன செய்யணும் நித்யானந்தரின் சொல் கேட்டு நடக்கணும் மனிதராய் பிறந்த நம்ம எல்லாம் காக்கத்தான் கைலாசா என்னும் புது உலக கொடுத்துட்டாக வந்திருக்க மனித ரூபம்.
ஓம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வர பரமசிவ சமாரம்பாம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி பரமசக்தி மத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சார்ய பர்யந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். I welcome you all with my love and respect. I welcome all the important guests who are here today. Thank you all for being here. The important guests who are here today, Shri Neil Patel ji, Republican primaries for Ohio Senate candidate from Columbus, Ohio, USA. I welcome you with my love, and Shri Davendranath Tanku, Member of Parliament from Trinidad Tobago. He is Member of Parliament for Oropoch West in Trinidad and Tobago. He is also Chairman of the United National Congress Party. Thank you, Davendranath Tanku ji, for being here. I welcome you with my love and respects. I welcome His Holiness Jagadguru Dilip Ji Maharaj, Hindu monk, NGO representing to the UN, spiritual guru, interfaith minister in New York, USA. Is a world-renowned yogi and interfaith minister from Tripunitura, erstwhile the capital of Cochin Kingdom in Kerala. His interfaith family is ancient and well respected for its Vedic knowledge of yoga, Vedanta, universal spirituality, Kalaripayattu, Ayurveda, and other natural self-healing systems, Sanskrit literature, art, social and cultural activities, and interfaith teachings for peace and harmony. I welcome His Holiness Jagadguru Dilip Ji Maharaj. Thank you for being here. And I also welcome His Excellency Ambassador Anthony G. Hilton. He is Member of Parliament in Jamaica. He serves as the Member of Parliament and is the current leader of opposition business in the House, as well as Shadow Minister of Industry, Investments and Global Logistics. He has served as Deputy Chairman of the People's National Party. I welcome His Excellency Ambassador Anthony G. Hilton ji. I welcome you with my love and respects. I welcome all of you, all the Sarvanyapita Kartas, Sarvanyapita Yajamans, Sarvanyapita Manifestors, Srimahans, Mahans, Kotari Tanedar, visitors, viewers, Gurukul students, Nityananda Hindu University students, Kailasas ministers, ambassadors, diplomats, citizens, consulate generals and supporters, Mantreshwaras, Vidyeshwaras, Ganeshwaras, Lokeshwaras, Astreshwaras. I welcome all of you with my love and respect. I welcome all the viewers also with my love and respects. Thank you for all of you being here. Paramashiva's message directly from Mahakailasa on this auspicious, beautiful Kailasa's SPH Nityananda Day celebration. Let's enlighten humanity and all the beings. Enlightenment is no more a luxury, it's a survival need. Conscious breakthrough is no more a luxury, it is a survival need. We human beings have lived unconscious life, destroyed everything around us, especially last 100 years. the deforestation we have done, the damage we caused to environment, and the collective negativity we increased is unimaginable. We are going too fast towards destroying the only home we have, planet Earth. So enlightenment, consciousness-centric lifestyle, reviving the enlightened civilization is no more luxury, it's a survival need. So Kailasa, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization, I should add a word, the only surviving enlightened civilization, is working intensely, sincerely, uniting all the nations, recognized by UN and unrecognized nations, civilizations, ethnic groups, matriarchal civilizations, all, the whole humanity, for reviving this consciousness-based enlightened civilization. It is time we bring conscious-centric lifestyle, whether it is on what we eat or our policies towards other nations. It can be as small as what we eat for breakfast and as important as our policies about other nations. In every level, it is time we bring consciousness-centric policies, enlightenment-centric ideas, non-violence and coexistence centric values. Hinduism very clearly declares ahimsa paramo dharmaha. The ultimate cosmic law is non-violence. We bring non-violence in our plate to our decisions and policies towards other nations. In every level, it is time to bring this ancient enlightened civilization's values, enlightened lifestyle, superconscious lifestyle, value-centric lifestyle, cosmic values, the natural law of the cosmos. We use a Sanskrit word called dharma, natural law of the cosmos. The dharma-centric values, principles, policies, whether in personal level or in the level of our families or the level, the team with which we work or the society in which we live or the nation for which we serve, planet Earth on which we are surviving. In every level, reviving the enlightened civilization and consciousness based lifestyle policies is no more a luxury option. No. It is now survival need. If this generation, we human beings, wake up, we are going to leave better planet Earth for the next generation. If we don't wake up, I don't want to say what will be the result if we don't wake up, because there will not be anything left. Many political leaders are telling nuclear war can't be won. I tell you, forget about the nuclear war. If we don't wake up to consciousness-centric values, the enlightened civilizational policies, values, non-violence centric principles, ideas, even if we don't wake up to these great consciousness-based principles, cosmic dharma, the collective negativity which we already triggered is not going to let us live on this planet Earth, the only home we have as on now. So, we all, conscious human beings, we have the responsibility to unite all the nations to revive ethical environmentalism. We have to unite all the nations for consciousness studies and practices. We have to unite all the nations to preserve, preach, live ancient enlightened sciences. We have to bring enlightenment centric policies, principles immediately to protect environment, to bring gender equality, to bring real health, not to use human beings as the resource for the pharmaceutical industry. We should focus more and more on bringing life positivity in every level. Before I could start the satsang, I was seeing the small presentation done by Sri Nitya Muktananda and Matushi. I wanted to tell you all this work Kailasa has done last 26 years. From 1994, now 2022. The work we have done is not done just by me alone. First, the grace of Paramashiva Shakti, all the divine energies, gods and goddesses of Kailasa, and all of you, the glimpse of enlightenment through me, who stood with me. Only you all are able to make this huge mission now evolved literally as a civilizational nation, ancient, enlightened, civilizational nation, first nation for all Hindus. By the grace of Paramashiva, I wanted to reveal to the whole world, by the grace of Paramashiva, we do have a sovereign territory gifted to us by more than one country. Of course, it's a small territory, not big, but we do have a clearly, legally given, as per the Vienna Convention, the sovereign territory in more than one place for Kailasa, and in few countries kind of a autonomous, semi-sovereign, small lands, small islands were given to us, and at least few dozen countries, the diplomatic relationship is established, and many countries have established the sister city agreements, the embassy relationship, spiritual embassy relationship, and many levels of recognition and diplomatic tie-ups. All this was possible not just by me alone, but millions of all of you, born, living, practicing Hindus all over the world, who are working tirelessly to revive the ancient enlightened Hindu civilization. It's because of all of you. This revival of the Kailasa has become reality. So first and foremost, I want to thank Paramashiva and all the gods and goddesses of Kailasa. Next, all of you who have sincerely worked for making this revival of the ancient Hindu civilization happen. Of course, I wanted to tell all of you, we are not just territory-centric nation. We have a small territory, but we are more a civilizational nation. We want to revive the spiritual ecosystem, enlightenment ecosystem, everywhere human beings are living. Every awakened human being's heart is the territory of Kailasa. Every awakened human being's heart is the territory of Kailasa. We have a small territory also on the planet Earth, land, island, but our real territory is every awakened human being's heart. So, it is time Kailasa starts working more and more sincerely, uniting the nations for our declared goals, declared purposes. And this day, Kailasa's SPH Nityananda Day is celebrated in many countries, many cities. The day has been declared by more than 30 cities in multiple countries, including United States of America. I first want to thank all of you, all those cities, for this honor. Everyone who has given the proclamation, thank all of you sincerely. And I dedicate this whole thing, whole honor, to the humanity, every volunteer, every living, practicing Hindu who is sincerely working with Kailasa to revive this ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, to bring global peace, religious harmony, to revive the spiritual sciences, yogic sciences, in every level, to reach out, to protect indigenous aboriginal nation, to protect sacred spaces and sites, to protect enlightened culture and arts, to protect ancient enlightened sacred arts and sacred sciences, to protect ancient enlightenment centric rituals, enlightenment centric spiritual sacred spots in multi-level. The work is happening. It's unfortunate that we Hindus still don't know how to document the work we do. I think that's one of the biggest flaw Hindus have. We work, forget to document. We never tell our grand narrative, our vision, our contribution to the world. At least now it is time we start telling what we are doing to the world and inspiring the world to revive this conscious-centric, enlightenment-centric civilization. Today evening again, we have a grand program, a detailed vision statement and mission statement, and all the work we have done, we are planning to do presentations about it. As I said, we are not professional in documenting what we did and what we went through, but we are trying to tell the world. So I request all of you to join again. Evening, Indian Standard Time, 8 o'clock. Indian Standard Time, 8 p.m. evening, for the full presentation. Morning, we were planning to bring introduction. So I think I've done the introduction now. Today, whole day we have programs, and in the evening, the grand finale of the conclusion presentation. I welcome every one of you to come and be part of the evening conclusion presentation. Next, we have some of the spiritual rituals as the continuity of the whole day program, Thulabharam and all that. So, once again, I thank all the important guests, Sri Jagadguru, Dilip Ji Maharaj, Dabendranath Tanku Ji, Sri His Excellency Anthony Hilton Ji, and Sri Neil Patel Ji, for all of you being here, and all the important guests, devotees, disciples, citizens of Kailasa. I welcome all of you. I thank all of you for being here, and I sincerely thank all the cities celebrating Nityananda Day today all over the world, in many countries, and all the embassies, sister cities, de facto spiritual embassies, monasteries, universities, ambassadors, diplomats. I sincerely thank all of you for everything all of you are doing. Revive this ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The work we have done to protect human rights, to stop the violence, to protect people from lawfare, forced disappearance, to protect spiritual leaders from assassination attempts, to protect Hindu refugees in every level. I thank all of you who supported us, who helped us to protect our Hindu men and women. In many of your countries, you have given refuge, you have given asylum. Thank you all. If I start naming a long list of the countries supported our Hindu brothers and sisters, giving political asylum, giving refugee, protecting, I sincerely want to thank every one of you, and I also wanted to thank United Nations for recognizing the persecution done on Kailasa and on the Kailasa's SPH in multi-level assassination attempts, lawfare, and hate speech, and all the attacks done by Hindu media, the Hindu media people, and whatnot. I just wanted to express my gratitude, thanks. The word thanks is too small. I have to name everyone who helped us in multi-level to protect our people in multiple countries. Specifically, without going into the details, I wanted to mention His Excellency G. Anthony Hilton from Jamaica. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you have done and you are doing. Standing up with we persecuted Hindus, protecting us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sri His Excellency Anthony Hilton Ji. Actually, I have a long list. I should mention every name. Because of shortage of time, I'm not mentioning all the names. Every city which has signed a diplomatic relationship with us, every country which has given a small land as a sovereign land for Kailasa, sovereign territory for Kailasa, every country which has given a small land with autonomous status, like semi-sovereign status, and every country which has given refuge, asylum to persecuted Hindus. I just sincerely want to thank all of you once again for helping us to revive this ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. I just don't have any other words other than the word thank you, thank you, thank you all for all your sincere efforts. It's because of all of you we are not only surviving, we are reviving the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. Thank you. I just have no other word than the word thank you. You all have given us life and helping us to revive. I wanted to commit to all of you. We will all be sincere for all the help all of you have done. Time, treasure, talent, all of you shared with us. And support all of you have extended to us. We will do our responsibility, our part to spread enlightenment sciences and revive the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation for the sake of humanity. Thank you all. Once again, sincerely, I thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, with this, we will move to the next program, spiritual ritual called Thulabharam. So, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhatvaita, Paramattvaitam, Shuddhatvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham, the Maha Kailasa, the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
Pada baga sari ga pada sa
Sassari sadadda dadda sadapappa pappada padakka sari ga pada sa
gari gari sari sari sada ga pada sa gari
Ri sari sada 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 pa sari ga pada sa
Sagari pagga da basa dari sagari sa
கண்டவர்
ஆசையாய் தந்தவன் அகமதை ஆட்கொண்ட ஆனந்த நாயகன் ஆனந்த வாழ்வதை ஆசையாய் தந்தவன் இன்னல்கள் நீக்கிய இன்பங்கள் தந்திட இகலோக குருவாக வந்த நித்யானந்தனே இன்னல்கள் நீக்கிய இன்பங்கள் தந்திட இகலோக குருவாக வந்த நித்யானந்தனே நித்யானந்தம் 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 தனில் தோன்றி பாரதை ஆண்டிடவே பரலோகம் தன்னை விட்டு பூலோகம் வந்தானே பாரதம் தனில் தோன்றி பாரதை ஆண்டிடவே பரலோகம் தன்னை விட்டு பூலோகம் வந்தானே நித்தியமும் ஆனந்தம் நிலமகள் பெற்றிட மலைமகன் மகேசன் மனிதனாய் வந்தானே நித்தியமும் ஆனந்தம் நிலமகள் பெற்றிட மலைமகன் மகேசன் மனிதனாய் வந்தானே ஆனந்தனே நித்யானந்தனே ஆனந்தனே நித்யானந்தனே 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 ஆலவாய் நாயகன் ஆனந்த ஈசனவன் ஆரடி உடல் தாங்கி ஆலடி வந்தானே ஆலவாய் நாயகன் ஈசனவனாரடி உடல் தாங்கி காலடி வந்தானே மனமெனும் மாயதை மக்களும் கடந்திட மலைநகர் வலம் வந்து மாதவம் செய்தானே மனமெனும் மாயதை மக்களும் கடந்திட மலைநகர் வலம் வந்து மாதவம் செய்தானே சரி சதா
Bhagwan Shri Krishna loves Devi Rukmini more than you. You are much more beautiful and come from a much more royal and wealthy lineage. You should be the one who should be getting all his attention. Devi Satyabhama, listening to Narada Mahamuni, was shocked. His words invoked the feelings of jealousy and possessiveness in her. And she immediately replied, "Yes, O Devarshi, you are right. I should be getting Krishna all for myself. Please guide me. What should I do and how should I make it happen?" Seeing the plan working as was already planned, Devarshi Mahamuni, in his quintessential mischievous way, suggests to Devi Satyabhama, saying that, "Oh Devi, I will tell you the way how you can have Krishna all for yourself. I ask you to give Krishna to me in dana, and in order to maintain the sanctity of the dana and also for you to have Krishna all for yourself, I will allow you to trade Krishna against your wealth in gold, which is equivalent of the weight of Shri Krishna." Hearing this, Devi Satyabhama not just agrees, but boasts that yes, having the amount of wealth I have, able to offer 1,000 of Krishna's gold to have him all for myself. That's it. He honors Thulabharam so that she be able to put her Krishna. Sri Krishna, Parandhama himself, watching all this, silently sits on one side of the scale on one of the pans. And Devi Satyabhama starts putting her bricks of gold in the pan on the other side of the scale. One by one, she puts each block of gold, but the scale doesn't move. She continues to put all her wealth, creating a whole mountain of gold on the other side of the pan, on the other side of the scale, but nothing happens. The scale does not move an inch. Finally, desperate to see what was happening, she goes to the other wives of Bhagwan Sri Krishna and requests them to help her. They immediately agreed and also poured all the wealth they had into the same pan on the same side of the scale. But even then, nothing happened. The scale where she could not move an inch. Finally, Narada Mahamuni declared that Krishna is his and was about to take Krishna with him. Holding his hand, goes to Devarshi Narada Mahamuni and says, "Oh Devarshi, what have I done wrong? Why did the scale not even move an inch? Why could I not have Krishna all for myself?" Then Narada Mahamuni explains that, "Devi, you have not understood who Bhagwan Krishna really is. He is not just this 6 feet body that you see with your physical eyes. He is the supreme consciousness himself. How do you expect him to move just by your physical material wealth? He can only be moved by the devotion of a true devotee." Immediately after that, Bhagwan Shri Krishna, breaking his silence, says and asks Devi Satyabhama that, "Oh Devi, please go to Devi Rukmini. She will tell you. She knows the way how to win me. Please go to her." After that, Devi Satyabhama immediately rushes to the quarters of Devi Rukmini and first of all apologizes for wanting to have Krishna all for herself. Devi Rukmini, listening to her and being a chaste and devout wife of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, immediately agrees to help her and starts walking towards the courtroom where the Thulabharam ritual was organized. On the way to the courtroom, she picks a small tulsi leaf from the garden, remembering how in her daily puja, that one tulsi leaf was enough to get the blessings and the grace of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Then, reaching the place where the scale, the Thulabharu Seva was organized, she immediately goes to the pan where the huge mountain of gold was lying and just puts that small tulsi leaf on top of the mound of gold, closing her eyes, remembering Bhagavan Krishna in her heart. And as soon as she puts the tulsi leaf on top of the gold, on top of the wealth, immediately the whole scale tips in the other direction. So, in this story today, we learn what is the right space to carry while offering dana to Bhagavan or to one's Guru. It is not the amount or the quantity that we offer that matters. It is the inner space that we carry. And the right way to offer dana is by true devotion and gratitude. Just to give and give. Giving for the sake of giving, not to expect anything in return. That is the space to give dana. In the words of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Ramashivam, as he said, exhale, exhale, exhale. Keep on exhaling so that I can inhale, so that Paramashiva can inhale in you. So, carrying the same inner space for Bhagavan to our beloved Bhagavan, the Thulabhara Seva to our beloved Bhagavan, the Pontiff of Hinduism, and the Paramashiva, and seek his grace and blessings.
The first offering, Thulabharam, is the offering of the Rajata Thulabharam. Namopata samasta duridakshaya dvara bhagat Nanda Paramashiva Priyam Shrikant Iyer Namadheyasya Ma Prasannanam Yaha Ma Nitya Jnanamudranandam Yaha Sri Nitya Kapileshananda Namadheyasya Mahalakshmi Nam Yaha Sakutumbasya Saile Patel Namadheyasya Anand Namadheyasya Smarana Nam Yaha Sagar Patel Namadheyasya Sakutumbhasya Chanu Patel Nam Yaha Sakutumbhasya Ma Nitya Kamakala Upananda Nam Yaha Yeyalu Nam Yaha Huang Yi Nam Yadheyasya Huang Zhen Chen Namadheyasya Chen Ru Zhen Nam Yaha Lu Ji Hua Namadheyasya Xi Fang Nam Yaha Huang Yi Yu Namadheyasya Sakutumbhasya मनसेप्सित सकल सतभीष्ट काम्यार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थम ज्ञान वैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थम श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूप भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परशिव रजत तुलाभारम च करिष्ये. कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि. आरात्रिकं समर्पयामि भगवच्छ्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः. The next offering of Thulabharam is the offering of the Rudraksha Thulabharam. Namopata samasta duridakshaya dvara Bhagavat Shri Nityananda Paramashiva Prityartham अद्य पूर्वोक्त एवं गुण विशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ वाङ् नामधेयस्य याङ् नाम्याः याङ् नामधेयस्य याङ् सुपिङ्ग् नाम्याः वाङ् झाङ्गी नामधेयस्य लौ एन् इमिङ् नामधेयस्य सकुटुम्बस्य फैन् फैन् वाङ् ज्ञानमयी नाम्याः यूलाङ् वाङ् नामधेयस्य प्रपञ्चप्रिया नाम्याः झञ्झे वाङ् नामधेयस्य क्षी ज़ङ् वाङ् नामधेयस्य लियाञ्जिन् वाङ् नामधेयस्य ग्ज्यूमिङ् छन् नाम्याः सकुटुम्बस्य शर्मी जी पटेल नाम्याः गिरीश के पटेल नामधेयस्य डेमियन जी पटेल नामधेयस्य नूपुर डी पटेल नामधेयस्य खाया डी पटेल नाम्याः रेया डी पटेल नाम्याः जेसन जी पटेल नामधेयस्य जूली जे पटेल नाम्याः जया जे पटेल नाम्याः जशबाई पटेल नामधेयस्य शारदाबेन जे पटेल नाम्याः कुटुम्बस्य नित्यानन्दगोत्रोद्भवस्य मूलानक्षत्रे धनुर्राशो जातस्य रविशंकर त्यागराज नामधेयस्य उत्तरडं नक्षत्रे मकरराशो जातायाः शान्ति रविशंकर नाम्याः पुनर्भूसं नक्षत्रे मिथुनराशो जातस्य मुरली रविशंकर नामधेयस्य उत्तरं नक्षत्रे कन्याराशो जातायाः ऐश्वर्या रविशंकर नाम्याः उत्तरं नक्षत्रे कन्याराशो जातायाः परमेश्वरी आरुमुगन नाम्याः पूसं नक्षत्रे कटकराशो जातस्य शान्तकुमारी आरुमुगन नाम्याः सकुटुम्बस्य गणपति पिल्लै नित्यानंद गोत्रोद्भवस्य तिरुवाधिरे नक्षत्रे मिथुनराशो जातस्य ज्ञानचम्मल् गणपति पिल्लै नाम्याः मृगशीर्षा नक्षत्रे मिथुनराशो जातस्य वनरूभागनचम्मल् ज्ञानचम्मल् नाम्याः भरिणी नक्षत्रे मेषराशो जातस्य आर्थिक ज्ञानचम्मल् नाम्याः उत्तिर्यं नक्षत्रे सिंहराशो जातस्य अहेवी ज्ञानचम्मल् नामधेयस्य सकुटुम्बस्य सकुटुम्बस्य च मनसेप्सितकलसदभीष्टकाम्यार्थसिद्ध्यर्थं ज्ञानवैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थम श्री सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूप भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव रुद्राक्ष तुलाभारं च करिष्ये। राजाधिराजाय प्रसख्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु हेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः समर्पयामि भगवते नित्यानंद परम शिव चरण कमलेभ्यो नमः। The next offering of Thulabharam is the offering of the turmeric, the Haridra Thulabharam. मोपात समस्त दुरितक्षय द्वारा भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परम शिव प्रीत्यर्थम अद्य पूर्वोक्त एवं न विशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ शक्ति माया मोहनदास नाम याः राधामणि नाम याः देवदास नायर नामधेयस्य उमेश नायर नामधेयस्य गीतादास नाम याः मीरादास नाम याः मीनादास नाम याः सकुटुम्बस्य मनसेप्सित सकल सदभीष्टकाम्यार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थम ज्ञानवैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थम श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूप भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव हरिता तुलाभारं च कर्ष्ये। साहे नमो वै समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः। आरात्रिकं समर्पयामि भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। With this, we come to the conclusion of the offering of Thulabharam today. Thank you, Nityanandam.
ಆನಂದವಾಗಿಡ ವಂದ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದನೇ